Hello, this is Connie, Craft Shack. I'm going to do this tray in a bowl. It's going to be a bowl in a tray, I should say. A bowl in a pitcher. Here we go. I'll get it right here. I'm going to measure this tray out for you, and I'm going to show you how to do this. It's pouring water in a little bit at a time, 200 grams at a time. The mold is a 13 by 1 inch deep, but you don't want to pour the resin in 1 inch deep because it will crack if you pour it that deep. So we have to remeasure this mold we only want it to be 1/4 inch deep. So I'm remeasuring it to do this. I'm going to show you how to get the water out. I'm going to use a turkey baster. It's gonna, I don't know if you're gonna get some hints out of this or not. I just used my imagination. I did use a level to level my space, and if you want to know the colors that we're going to be using, it's going to be lemon yellow. This is all less resin colors. Blue. Magnolia. Sapphire blue, purple, sinker white, and rose gold metallic. When you mix your resin, we're going to figure out we're going to need 600 milliliters of resin. You're going to mix your resin up until it has no ribbons in your resin. It's going to be clear. You're going to let it sit for 5 minutes till all the bubbles come out of it, and then you're going to take out 2 ounces, and you're going to mix your white, and you want to put your sinker white, and you want to mix as much, you want it to be milky, you want it to be cloudy, you want it to look like a cloud. You don't want it to be, you want it opaque. You don't want it to be see-through because you don't want it to be, you don't want to see through the paint, the colors that the inks that you're putting through. You want it to sink the colors that you're putting on. And the pink we're also going to do this way. It's going to be the rose gold, the metallic pink. I did it the same way, and I also did it with 2 ounces. And I mixed these and I put them in piping bags, so I didn't have to spoon it on, and I could put it on with a piping bag. And I put those in piping bags and got them ready after I had the resin mixed, and it sat for 5 minutes. But I'm going to have this mold ready here in a minute. You have to completely dry the water. You dab it out if you're doing this right before you're pouring this project. You don't scratch your mold. If you can do it beforehand and let your mold dry, do it. But I know you're going to be anxious and want to get this started. You want to clean your vase with alcohol. I just got the vase at Dollar Tree. It was one of their vases they had with their floral department. And right here I'm measuring the center of the mold. I want to make sure that vase gets put right in the center. And I'm going to measure the bowl that I have to put the tray in. I want to have that ready. So you're going to see a blue bowl. Right there's the blue bowl. It is glass. It doesn't have to be plastic. I got that at Goodwill one year. It's not as big as the tray, and it doesn't have to be, because you're curling up the edges and it's going to sink down in the bowl, so it's going to curl up, so it's only going to be hanging over the edge an inch. And you want a plastic sheet to separate the two so it doesn't stick to it. And you want a cup in your... I didn't show this beforehand. I'm showing you to it now. The picture is done here, but I'm showing you how I can pick the bowl up. I'm showing you how I pick the pitcher up. You put a cup in it and put it right directly in the center of your platter, and then you start your pour by pouring clear resin on top. Then you start dropping your inks in, and then you keep pouring, and you keep pouring. I'm off frame, that's why I moved my film. I moved my camera, and that's why it got cut. The picture got cut, because I didn't want you to be halfway in between the... I'm still learning how to film these things, but I did get better. I got you on camera anyway. Forgive me. And here I'm dropping inks in, and you can see the resin moving. And I'm going to be dropping more resin in. I'm dropping inks in. It doesn't matter where you drop the inks in, just drop them. Just set them down. Just try not to mix up your tops, because you don't want to keep turning your tops on, because you're going to... Here's where I've got the 600 grams of 600 milliliters of resin mixed up in an ice cream bucket, because I didn't have a mixing pot big enough that was sturdy enough for me to pick up with one hand and hold everything and a spoon. But the ice cream bucket was sturdy enough. So, and this it was an old sherbet bucket. And I love my sherbet. And I actually was able to leave that resin in that bucket the next day, and it just peeled right out. I didn't have to clean it. I just let it dry, and it peeled right out the next day. So I'll be able to use that bucket in another project. Excuse the mess there, and you can't see what I'm doing, but it's hard to pour everything out of the bucket. Now you can see I have to reapply the ink, because the resin pushed down all the ink. And here comes some more ink. It is less resin ink. I think I've already said that. When you pour your your resin in your piping bags that you mix your pink and your sinker white. You want to mix those 2 grams each, and you want it to look like a milky color, because you don't want it to be see-through. You want it to be opaque. See how opaque it is there? And I'm squirting it on that way. It sinks to the bottom, but it doesn't actually blob. It will pull the inks in, and it spreads out at the same time. See how the pinks spread out? And there's the white. And it doesn't really matter where you spread it, because it's just going to smear. I just love this resin. It smears, it's sticky, you have to wear gloves. You can't do this without wearing gloves. And alcohol is your friend. It's rubbing alcohol, not drinking alcohol. Don't get the two mixed up. The 99 red bottle of rubbing alcohol is what you want. And I get the big bottle from Equate Walmart. It's $3 a bottle. See how it's milky? That's the white going on there. And that's going to get more ink on it. And I'm going to take a silicone brush here pretty soon, and it's going to make stripes through it, and it's going to pull. I actually bumped the picture, and you can't, if you actually bump it, your heat gun will fix whatever if you bump it, it will fix it. The heat gun will spread it out, but you don't want to heat gun your colors, because all your colors will come off your picture. But you want to wait until it's cured to put your heat gun on there. Here's my silicone brush. I'm coming in with it now. Oh, there's more ink. I thought I had my silicone brush. I was surprised how much ink this stuff was able to hold. It actually cures really nice. It was not sticky when I got done. It did really well. The jar even was not sticky. I used less resin, 4-hour cure. It was 1-to-1 resin. I was able to take it out of the tray, take the tray out of the mold in about 4 hours. It was still pliable, and I put it in the bowl and molded it, and put it in the other bowl, and you'll see what I did. You want to move that. You want to use the silicone brush to move your stuff around. You don't want to move it on your picture because the picture's so thin, it's just running off the picture, and it's just, the picture's going to be gorgeous. It's just beautiful. I just put the colors down. There's so many ways to do this. There's controlled ways to do it, and there's psychedelic ways. You can put all your colors on one side and smear them up like I'm doing, and kind of make it look tie-dyed. This was more of a what would you say, a messy pour. I kind of put dots on the tray. I didn't like putting dots on the tray because it actually left spots on my silicone mold. I wished I'd have just waited and put the silicone on the mold, and not silicone. I wish I put the resin on the mold first and then put the dye on, the ink on the mold. That way the dye did not mess up my mold, but it is what it is. It's a mold, but it's not going to come off. I've washed it twice, and it's there. You might have seen the pink dots on it when I was measuring the mold, as you've seen it. I'm going to drop some sinker white here in a second. There's the sinker white. That right there, you'll see the sinker white. It kind of spreads out. It doesn't sink. If you use straight up paste, it actually will sink, and it'll leave you blobs on the opposite side of your tray, and it will not cure. You use your sinker white, and it spreads out, and you can swirl it like I'm doing here. The resin's already setting up. As you can see, it's trying to fight the silicone brush. But I'll let you just watch. I did have it on a level tray. It was I believe it's a less resin leveling tray. I put 2 boards underneath it to make it completely round because it is a square leveling tray. And it made the boards made it round. And the picture is in the center. And it actually burps as the resin pours. You'll feel it. You'll see it burp as the resin gets full. Don't worry. Just don't try moving it, because once you start pouring, you don't want to move your picture until it's set for at least 30-45 minutes. Then you need to get a spot that's set for your drip, with a drip tray, maybe a cookie sheet with a plastic sheet in it, something level so you can pick up your cup that's got the pitcher in it and pick it up and put it straight on that level tray and let the tray fill up that spot. And it will fill up, and if it doesn't want to fill up, use your heat gun and warm up the resin in the tray, and it will fill up. And if you want to add more white, you can, but I did not. I just let it fill up the tray, and I just let it sit for 4.5 hours, and I came back and it was ready to come out of the mold. I did spray mold release in the mold before I started. That way I knew it was going to come out of the mold easy. As you can see, it's going, the ribbons are it looks like flowers. The white, the sinker white actually made it look like flowers. Wipe up all your tools. Don't go to bed without wiping your tools down, or you'll wake up in the morning with a mess. I had picked that up. There's where your tray is sitting on a level tray. It's actually in a cat box with a plastic sheet in it. And that's the next day, and it's dry. I'm actually going to pick that up and show you how easy it is to clean up. That's basically all the waste you get. That's your tray. That's your pitcher. That's all the waste you get. And that is your cleanup. If you use, that's a cat box from Dollar Tree with a garbage liner in it. You can reuse that garbage liner. I believe I skipped over here and I didn't show you how to put the, oh, here it is. I put acrylic bottles in there in the bowl. I put the bowl inside the blue bowl with the plastic sheets in it, and I molded the resin bowl in it and pushed a lead crystal bowl down in the center of it to weight it down, and I let that sit for about 12 hours. And I took off and went to the grocery store, came back, and it was rock hard. And that's my supplies where I did it. I think I cut the film in a different space. I put the film together wrong. Sorry, y'all. Forgive me. I'm human. I'm Messy Connie. There's where I'm molding the mold together. That's where I'm putting it together. And the camera's about to fall. Push it down. It won't want to stay down. That's why I use the lead crystal, and it is heavy. I actually put a bottle of resin down inside the lead crystal to weight it down and make sure it didn't come up. The lead crystal just fit that center spot better than the resin bowl, so I just put that better in there. Just have all your supplies ready when you start your project, and you'll have it all in ducks in a row. There's your finished piece. Isn't that beautiful? You have all the colors: sinker white, blue, rose gold, purple, magenta, excuse me again. I've had to sneeze all day today. I don't know what I picked up, but there it is, people. I hope you enjoyed the show. Give it a thumbs up. I'm fixing to. This one was a toughie with a hurt hand, but my hand is on the mend. If you liked it, share it, subscribe. Hope you liked it. Comment. It's the full tutorial this time. You may have seen this done before, but they don't usually give you the full tutorial, but this is it. This is everything. From the mold, everything. For how to measure your mold, everything is in here. All your inks, everything is in this video. Even the sneeze.